So I'm looking out the window, and I'm just seeing a huge amount of rain pouring outside my dorm room. I'm in my first year university, and my first round of exams, and I'm just really trying to figure out who I am and who I want to be. And I'm super stressed because, similar like a lot of these slips we've been hearing tonight, I was pulling my first and only all-nighter, just trying to make the knowledge just fit somewhere in every crevice other than my brain. I was packing it everywhere I could and just trying to make it work. And when I felt I got to like the crunch time of having to leave, I went for the last thing to get dressed, and that was a pair of socks. And so I go to reach into my drawer, and I'm shocked and just frustrated to realize I'm like, it's bare. There's no socks. And in this very moment, I'm just super frustrated because I'm like, I don't want to go out in the rain without any socks and do this exam. It's just going to feel squishy and gross, and I can't focus like that. And I think back to just coming to this situation of being away from home. When I grew up, my dad was like the laundry guy, and he wouldn't let anyone else touch it, and because he had his system. And as far as I know, like laundry was a seamless process for him. But one thing that kept happening to me in my first few months of college is every time I'd go to do laundry, I'd come back and I'd realize I'd lost a sock. And that was heartbreaking. Because and situations like this started to happen more often because my matching pairs of socks slowly kept dwindling. And I would find myself often in this position of like, oh shoot, like I thought I just did laundry. Why do I have so few? So that's just kind of what kept happening. And I kind of wondered where they went and pondered about it, but it just never really had an answer. So here I am back in this situation of having to leave for this exam, and I got to make a decision. And one other thing my dad gave me was just whenever in situations, if you can look at that positive side of whatever you're in, then that's a good way to go. And that trait led to me in this sock situation. I kept losing them. It was a hopeful thing that I felt, you know what, maybe one day that sock mate will come back. And maybe I'll get to be the one who gets to reunite them, and they'll be in their glory, and they can go out and live on my feet out in the world, and we'll be having a great time together. And it just never happened, but I still remained hopeful. And it is in this exact moment where I kind of had this bit of an epiphany, because in saving those socks, I actually assigned them their own separate drawers, somewhat of like a sock orphanage, where at least they could have each other to support each other and get to know, be there, have some way of seeing something forward. And I was almost like I could hear their voices whispering to me, being like, Michael, we got you. I'm like, okay. So I reach into this drawer, and I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to grab the yellow one and put that on. I'm like, that'll deal with the rain. And I'm going to, reach into this other one, this pink sock with flying pigs, because that's kind of what I need to get through these exams. And it just feels very intentional, and I've got them both on my feet, and all of a sudden I kind of feel, I think, what it feels like to be a battery. Like the positive side and the negative charge come together to be this unit of energy that makes things work. And it feels amazing. I'm just like, this is awesome. So my whole all-nighter is the exhaustion is slowly fading away and turning into this excitement, and I'm actually looking forward to going out in the rain. And I go write this exam. It's the best exam I've ever written in my life, and I totally attribute it to the socks. I was like, this is what's up. This is great. And from that day on, I decided, I'm like, this is how I'm going to live my life. And so 22 years later, it's something I'm still doing every single day. For example, take today. I actually flew from Canada to come be with some friends I've never actually met in person. This is the first time, but maybe be here for the first time to see a moth. We don't have them in Canada, which I want to talk to you guys about. That needs to happen. But for the occasion, for this side, I wore. Oh, actually, here I'll show you this one first. For the courage that I felt I would need for this, I wore the sock that says "the baddest of asses." And for maybe the improv, go with the flow type of thing, I know we can't swear, but I'll bleep out something here. It says, creative little effer. And I feel pretty good about things right now. And it's something I continue to look forward to. And when I think back to that moment where I felt like I was in such a pinch, and I had to make a decision to do whatever it needed, what was needed to get through that, I'm super thankful because every single day I now wake up and it's the first thing I do, and that first thing is through the socks, deciding who I want to be and what I want to do. Thank you.